British lawmakers told Boris Johnson he cannot call a new election unless he promises not to take Britain out of the European Union without a Brexit deal. It was the latest defeat for the British Prime Minister, who guaranteed that he would meet the Brexit deadline. WBZ political analyst John Keller sees some similarities between Johnson's problems and President Trump's.
I really do see a parallel between what's happening in the United States and what's happening here. People want to see borders.
Then candidate Trump had a point. The Brexit vote was a breakthrough for the politics of anti-globalism backlash. But the ascendance of both Brexit and Trump have been followed by years of harsh political conflict and a backlash against the backlash. Just as President Trump lost his first major legislative test, Obamacare repeal,
not a good start, Boris.
Brexit champion Boris Johnson has also faltered in his first parliamentary showdown. Like Mr. Trump, he remains adamant about his position.
I want everybody to know there are no circumstances in which I will ask Brussels to delay. We're leaving on the 31st of October, no ifs or buts.
But the protesters chanting in the background suggest a different potential outcome, in which public outrage over Johnson's hardball politics might even lead to Brexit being scrapped. After all,
We need a wall.
the immigration backlash that boosted Trump in 2016 was a no-show in last year's midterm elections, when his caravan scare tactics backfired among key voter groups. And while both Trump's and Brexit's support caught the opposition by surprise 3 years ago, the polls in both countries now suggest the times are changing again.
It was 3 years ago, and now it's our generation that will get it'll be impacted on more, and I feel like the younger people are the ones that want to remain. And
perhaps maybe people now are more knowledgeable about what would happen if Brexit actually did happen.
What a mess.
Well, Johnson might face another election, remarkably, before President Trump, even though he just took office himself. What other hurdles do they have in common?
Well, I think what they share is the problem that comes when you try to get in and run something that looked easy from the outside. It's much easier to be a grenade-tossing critic than to actually get in there and work within democratic processes to fix something. And when you fail at it, as Johnson has, and to some extent President Trump has, then questions of competence arise and your poll numbers dip. And that's where both men sit right now.
We'll see where it goes. John Keller, thank you very much. Paula, over to you.